Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about how the days of churning out app reskins is over. Alright, so today I want to answer a question that came in on episode 639 from Daniyar Nurgaliev. And this is a bit of a newbie question, so I apologize for those of you guys who've been watching the channel for a long time. But it's a good question nonetheless. It's kind of thing we have to keep reminding ourselves of. And if somebody's new to the game, they might not really know very much about this. But Daniyar asked this. He says, "Hi Eric. Could you say about this? What if I publish many absolutely the same apps with different application ID to Google Play Store? Maybe we'll change the icon and a little bit of design and add lots of ads to them. Is it legal? Thank you." So is it legal? No, not really. This is what people used to do all the time. This is what reskinning was all about in the day, which is not as prevalent as it used to be. So, and just to let you know, is it legal? No, there are rules that came in. Google just last year, or was it earlier this year? I can't. No, it was last year. They came out with a repetitive content policy to prevent this kind of thing. And it's very similar to the 4.3 guidelines on the Apple Store, which prevents spam, which prevent you from doing this kind of thing. Just keep re-releasing the same app again and again and again. Maybe making a few design changes and just keep doing it that way. Because that's what people were doing a lot, and that's the reason why the app stores and the Google Play Store are so cluttered with so much junk. Now, when I started doing app development was in 2012, and in 2013 was where I started talking to other app developers, and a lot of them were in the factory mindset, and they kind of got me into the factory mindset too. So you would go out and you would either purchase some code or you would write your own code, but most of the time they would go out and purchase their own code, and they would have like they would have a team overseas that would just go through and just churn out different versions of this. So if they had like a Candy Crush type game, they would have it with candies, and they would have it with balloons and then bubbles and whatever it was, and it would just kind of go again and again. And I've known developers who would do 10 apps a day, seriously, 10 apps a day going through. And when Flappy Birds hit, everybody had a Flappy Bird clone out there. It was just crazy that everybody did it, and there was just so much junk going to the App Store that they did start to reject some of that stuff. Although, to be honest with you, I have not heard of anybody getting hit with the repetitive content policy on Google Play yet. But it's something to be wary of, and it's a good thing that it's out there to prevent just people putting loads and loads of junk out there. Right? A lot of times I think what happened with all that reskinning and the craziness of it, and it makes total sense, right? I know why people were doing reskinning, because I was in the same mentality myself. It was like, if this app is only going to make me $1, then all I have to do is have 100 of these, right? That's the thinking that goes on. If I only make $1 a day from this app, I'll just have 100 of them, and then I'll make $100 a day. But it doesn't work that way, right? That's just doesn't work. I mean, people aren't all looking for the same apps. You're basically going to be competing against yourself in terms of search rankings anyway. So and I think about the app markets because of reskinning. It's a lot like if you've ever gone to if you go to China or Thailand, Vietnam, well, I mean, it's not just those countries, but it's a lot of countries where they have fake goods, and you go to one stall to a next in a marketplace, and they all have the same thing, although they might be slightly different. The cost is the same, and you basically go for the one that's cheapest, right? There's no value there. Everything's exactly the same because these factories are just producing the same thing again and again and again, and just making slight tweaks to it. I think that's what the App Store was getting like, and I think the repetitive content policy, as scary as I think it is, and even Apple's 4.3, the reasons behind it make total sense. The factory mentality of the App Store is over, right? We just can't think that way anymore. We have to produce good quality content, and that's why so many of us get hit with Apple 4.3 guideline rejections on Apple, because they are very, very wary of that. And Google Play, I think, will get that way soon. Now, is it legal? Technically, no. Could you get away with it? I think you probably could get away with it for a while, but I don't think it's a good idea. I don't see how it would benefit you at all, really. But that's just me. So for the rest of you guys who are experienced in the app stores or experienced in the Play Store, please provide what your feedback is on this and what you think about this whole situation. Or have you been able to make it work? Just completely reskinning, releasing the same app under different app IDs and slightly changing the icon, because I've done it on one of our applications and it actually worked pretty well, because it wasn't just the app IDs, it was completely different keywords and everything like that. But yeah, they're just clamping down on that kind of stuff. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. That is it for today. I'll talk to you guys again tomorrow.